Hey everybody, I want you to head down to teespring.com and check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of Bondy's merch.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another Iyanla Fix My Life review. This is a continuation to last episode's review. Okay, an episode where we were dealing with Rita, Ramisha, Christian, and LaShanta. Okay, and Rita wrote the show because she felt like there was this grave disconnect between her daughter-in-law's mother LaShanta, but she really wasn't drawing attention to the issue she was having with her own son Christian until Iyanla let her know that her issues with Ramisha are an extension of her issues with Christian. Okay? And so we got into all of that this episode. Iyanla tells Rita that homegirl is a bully. You're a bully. Okay? Need you to understand that. And of course, Rita is in a place where she's like, yeah, pile it on. Yes. Pile it on. Yes. I'm like, say yes one more time. Say yes one more time. Okay? Like it was definitely a Pulp Fiction Samuel L. Jackson moment for me. Okay, I dare you. Say it one more time. Okay, look, she was working on my nerves a little bit, y'all. Even though I understand the lady, she definitely has an insensitivity and a wall up to the culture that her son has married into. I find it very offensive that you as a German woman wants to proclaim your culture. And that is where you are from. And you want people to understand and be open and receptive to who you are as a person. But when it comes to Ramisha and LaShanta, you don't want to be welcoming and understanding of the African-American experience. You now have 2 black grandchildren, sweetheart. They may be mixed, but they are black. Okay? And so, how are you ever going to relate to them if you refuse to understand the culture? Like, period. Because there's a level of insensitivity. And Iyanla brings up the fact that her mom went through something similar. Rita's mom, I think, was on drugs at one point or another. I'm not sure exactly because all I heard Iyanla say was, you're judging LaShanta for the same thing that your mom did. Now, we all know that Rita's father had depression issues and killed himself. And then you have the mom who I'm sure was dealing with some type of emotional, mental turmoil just because of what happened with the father. So even though we want to blame it on, the culture, there's a disconnect there. But ultimately, Rita is somebody that was probably raised without any real emotional support. When people are raised without emotional support, like when you raised by like a drug addict or somebody that's just and I mean somebody that's really on drugs, okay? Like not a couple of months, okay? Like LaShonda's mama. That's what we found out about LaShonda's mom. That she actually did drugs for about 3 to 6 months when a friend of hers died. It was a very close friend of hers, and she took that hard, and she got on drugs. And here's my thing, Miss LaShonda. Miss LaShonda, you mean to tell me that because your friend died, that means you became a shitty mother, okay? And then later on we find out that LaShonda seemed to not be fully fulfilled as a woman. Whatever the LaShonda that we seeing today is not the LaShonda that Ramisha grew up with. And Rita's understanding of LaShonda comes from the things that Ramisha has said about LaShonda. And even though it's easy for Rita to just be like, well, Misha told me that. Now we got to take this to Misha. But at the same time, you still are being judgy. Because even though Misha is telling you about her life and her upbringing, you're using it as a way to judge her. You're using it as a way to say, hey, look at all of your issues. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Look at all of your issues. Oh my God. You don't deserve my son. She blatantly said that shit to LaShonda. I don't think Ramisha is good enough for my son. So once you've said that, for you then to feel as if it's still everybody else's fault. Like just that statement, your daughter isn't good enough for my son. Think about that for a second. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Because Ramisha and Christian have been together and married. Well, I don't know how long they've been together, but I know they've been married for 7 years and they have 2 children. So what else does she have to do to be worthy of your son? Even though this is who your son wants to be with, in all honesty, I feel like Rita is deflecting her unworthiness onto Ramisha. Because to me, it seems like the things that you've done, the neglect that you've had in the past to your child, okay? Because I don't care what anybody says. I don't care where you live. Allowing your 6-year-old to walk around the neighborhood by himself, leave school, go to the park, come home all by himself at 6 years old, bitch, that is neglect. Because you seem to think that Ramisha had this fucked up childhood, but it seems as if even though Ramisha went through some things, Ramisha didn't say that she had been assaulted like your son had been. Your son was assaulted, okay? Your son was taken advantage of in some bushes because you thought it was okay for your 6-year-old to be alone. Let's sit on that for a second. Okay? So Iyanla tells LaShonda and Rita that they need to clean up their relationships with their kids separately. So we sit down with LaShonda and Ramisha first. And Ramisha is just very vacant. Not there. Not there. One of those women, I believe, who thinks being pretty sometimes is enough. Being together and cute. I don't have to exert personality. Okay? Now, obviously, that is, the outcome of her upbringing. So it's not like, oh, I'm just trying to not, be present in the moment, but it's just how she and Kristen both, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but Ramisha and Kristen both have this in common where their mothers come into the room and something is happening, there's a withdrawal. Like Christian did it when Iyanla sat down with him and Rita, we're gonna get to that, but in this moment it's the exact same thing where you're trying to pull something out of them and get them to be in the moment. Hello, like be here with us so we can understand what the issue is. And Iyanla really got it out of Ramisha, at least a little bit, because at first she was not going to express any emotion whatsoever except for telling the story of how so her mom was on drugs for 3 to 6 months. That was difficult for her. It may have only been 3 to 6 months for the mom, but for Ramisha, it was a lifetime of having to deal with her mom not being present. Then her mom had a boyfriend. And the boyfriend was abusive, and I mean verbally abusive, calling them bitches and hoes. They never gonna amount to anything, hitting them, I'm sure. And the mom just sat by and watched it all happen. And to sit there in silence and complacency while someone abuses or, just neglects the emotional support of your child. Obviously, this is a pathology. We don't even want to get into what went on in Miss LaShonda's upbringing for her to think that this was okay. But you've now put your daughter in a situation where she's looking for this ultra aggression, but that is not what she needs. And I don't know, like what Ramisha's spirit did in a previous life to deserve the Lord blessing her with Christian. Okay? And vice versa, because he needed a woman that was going to be like his mom, but not treat him like his mom. Okay? And what I mean by that is Christian is a gentle, meek personality raised by a strong, unemotional ass woman. Okay? Cold, stone cold. All right? And he's now married a woman who also has like the upper hand in their relationship. But it's important for her not to be cold and to not turn into the type of person that Rita is, because obviously y'all have something in common, okay? And they do. They're both hyper vigilant. After everything that has been put into Ramisha about how she's not good enough, that's all she tries to do is not be what he said she was gonna be. Not be a hoe. Not be a bitch. You know what I mean? And it's like, girl, we gonna all be bitches. Like, we gonna be bitches. Okay? It is what it is. We gonna be bitches at one point or another. Deal with it. Okay? Okay? Men be bitches. So I don't understand why, but it's fine. I understand. It's just the negative of somebody constantly putting negativity into you as a child and still being able to grow up, get married to a man that is the opposite of that, and have your children and acknowledge the fact that I don't want to be that for my children. Ramisha has done so much to me, so much work on her own because of how she was raised. That's a catch-22 to having parents that's always telling you negative shit about yourself. They need to have positive reinforcement as well as negative, don't get me wrong. But when somebody is always telling you, oh, you're, you know what I'm saying, you're selfish, or, you know what I mean, you're this, you're that, you start to be like, oh, I don't want to be like that. So you start to correct. And sometimes that can be a negative thing, because you're not allowing yourself to live and relax. I understand that about Ramisha. My dad didn't call me no bitches and no hoes and all of that. But it was very much, you're selfish. You need to do better. You know what I'm saying? When he would tell me that, when I grew up, all of a sudden it was like, don't be selfish. Don't be this type of person. Don't be fake. Don't be like, all the time in my mind, don't be that person. Okay? But that's what you need. And I think it's a catch-22 because it's a negative thing, but it also gives you the mindset to self-check. And sometimes you overly self-check. And that is what Ramisha is doing. Ramisha, poor little thing, is wearing herself out trying to be what she thinks she should be and not being what she was told she would be. And she feels like she's being beaten up on, and finally she expresses emotion and cries about it. And it's just so sad to see such a beautiful, woman. You can just see the little girl in her that was verbally and emotionally abused and no one helped. Not even the mom sitting across from her, which is why you can tell Ramisha don't really mess with her mom like that. Like, she loves her mom. They've talked about their issues, but there is still a wall up there. Okay? So even though Christian and Ramisha are two different types of personalities, they've dealt with the same type of neglect from their mothers. Okay? We noticing it? Okay, because I noticed it, girl. Y'all, I went and downloaded Iyanla's app because I was going through it last week. Something happened. I can't even remember right now. Oh, no, it was the car situation. Girl. Okay, I had to get a whole new car, and it was a lot. I was at the dealership all fucking day. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling good, whatever. And somebody was like, girl, you got to get that Iyanla. You got to get that Iyanla app. And I was like, you know what? I forgot. Because I went to see her and she told everybody about her app to help you, get your life together, journal, just everyday inspiration. So y'all go get Iyanla's app. It's called My Spiritual. Hold up. Let me go to it so I can make sure I'm getting it right. It's called Awakenings with Iyanla Van Zant. Oh, look, she's talking already. Let me stop before. Good morning. Okay, with that sexy voice. Okay, Iyanla. Awakenings. Look for Iyanla's app, y'all. Just, I could put that out there if y'all need something to help y'all get a little bit more of a structure for getting yourself together, okay? Because I need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all about it. Get Iyanla's app, y'all. They did not pay me to tell you to do that, okay? I wish they had, but they did not. This video is not sponsored. But I will say this, and I want to bring attention to this one thing that Ramisha said. I wish my mom had loved herself more, found more fulfillment in herself, so that she wouldn't have had to find it from men. Y'all, when Ramisha said that was a word, a read, an indoctrination, bitch. That was a word. And I need for y'all to understand, because I feel like there are so many women that have children without the base level of having love and fulfillment for themselves. And what I mean by that is, can you be without a man and still feel fulfilled? Okay? Can you be without a drug and still feel fulfilled? Okay, like, can you take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, financially? Can you take care of yourself with or without a man? Like, that is my mindset on things. If I can't offer my daughter or my child at least being, 75, 80% of a whole person, okay? I ain't got all the way there yet. There's still work to do on me, bitch. But what I'm saying is, I feel like it's important to know who you are to a certain degree. So when you are then a parent, you are not still looking for shit that will drive you to leave your child and neglect them, or to have a man in the household that does not treat them the way they should be treated. Any man that's going to come into a household with a woman and her children needs to be about loving and treating those children as if they were his own, and vice versa. I'm really tired of people getting into relationships without thinking about their children first. And this is the exact example of that with LaShonda. You got into a relationship with a man because you weren't whole, okay? And your children then suffered because of your own pathology and issues in the men you choose. Now you've passed that down to them. And I feel so grateful for Ramisha that she was able to find Christian and also be the type of woman to want to be with a man like Christian. Because I tell y'all all the time, it is very important that you stop looking for dumb shit in men. Stop looking for toxic masculinity. Stop looking for niggas to be all, rough and tough and all of this bullshit. Fuck out of here with all of that. I need somebody that is emotionally available to me. Okay? I need somebody that's gonna love on me. I need somebody that's gonna put our relationship first. Not they mama, not they exes, not they friends, not they, whatever else they got going on. And the fact that Ramisha, even through all of her own issues, was able to find, secure, and marry Christian shows some type of personal growth already to me. Because I feel like there's so many young girls that grow up dealing with those type of, abusive men, and they look for that in men. And Ramisha does say that she feels that her husband Christian is passive. And Iyanla told her to never call him passive again. He is gentle, and do not try to beat that out of him by becoming his mother for him. Don't do that. Don't fuck up this good, nice, sweet man. Because at the end of the day, somebody can still be stern. Somebody can still divorce your ass, leave your ass, and all of that, and still be gentle. Okay? So don't take his kindness for weakness. Just because you too immature to realize that don't nobody want a man that's, rough and tumble to the point that you can't trust him, he abusing you, or he will neglect you or your children. And I think a lot of the times what we look for as far as attraction can really be the opposite of what we need in a partner. So yeah, shout out to Ramisha for being grown enough as a woman to pick the right man regardless to what she was predisposed to pick out. So Rita and Christian. Christian talks about how he didn't feel protected. And he felt like as a mother, Rita wasn't attentive as she should have been. Which is hilarious because of how much she sat there and talked about how she felt as if Ramisha wasn't on her job as a mother. The children getting banged up and you sitting on your phone and da-da-da-da-da. And it's a new day and age. So yeah, there's a little bit of that going on, I'm sure. And Ramisha, bitch, you need to clean that house. I don't know how much money Christian made, bitch, but you need to figure it out. Get you a maid that can come once a week and then you could just kind of do the little small stuff as you go along. But that house was a nasty fucking mess. I wouldn't want to use the bathroom at your house, bitch. If your living room look like that, I can't imagine what your bathrooms look like, what your kitchen look like. I love you, girl, as a sister. Okay? I appreciate your story. I see myself in you. Okay, but what I'm gonna need for you to do is correct your issues in this situation too. And it doesn't just pertain to your husband and your mom. It pertains to the fact that y'all trifling. Me and Miss Rita can agree on that. Okay, but let's get back to Christian. When Christian says he felt alone, says that he felt like his mom wasn't there, and she instantly goes into nope. And it's like, Iyanla told her, excuse me, you're listening right now. That's your one job right now, is to listen. Put your hand on your heart. Be open and receptive and hear your son's words, not as a judgment to your parenting, but as his experience of your parenting, okay? And she says that she showed up to the door 10 minutes after he had gotten home. That is not the point. A 6-year-old that just got molested in some fucking bushes comes home to an empty apartment, and you think it matters whether it was 10 minutes or not? The neglect started before that even happened. And I've said it already. I said it at the beginning that the reason why he was even put in that situation is because you thought it was okay for him as a 6-year-old to be out here on the street fending for him fucking self. I have a problem with Rita for that. Because how dare you judge LaShonda? How dare you judge Ramisha It looked like Ramisha wouldn't let her 6-year-old walk from the park to the house by himself. It looks like Christian would never let them children out of their sight like that after what happened to him. You, on the other hand, sitting in that chair, trying to be a fucking martyr, trying to act like, oh, it's all on me. And yeah. No. Yeah, it is all on you. Because he was your responsibility. You may not want the blame. You may not want the guilt. But guess what? Live through it, bitch. Live through it. It's the realization of the situation. That's your child. Christian explains that he didn't tell Rita because he thought she wouldn't love him anymore. She says it's like, he couldn't get through to her. That's what Iyanla is saying about Rita. As much as he is pouring his soul out to his mom, she is stone cold and not reacting to the word rape. She's not reacting to that. She's reacting to him saying she wasn't there. Iyanla made them switch seats because she didn't have it up to him, okay? And she says, gets in her face, okay? Do you hear what your son is saying? Because tell me what you heard. Tell me what you heard. And of course, she heard I wasn't there. And she negates his experience. And Iyanla was like, excuse me? Iyanla had it up the hill with Rita because she didn't like the way Rita was trying to argue with him about his experience of what happened to him. It doesn't matter if you were there 10 minutes later. For Christian, it felt like an hour. Okay? For the 6-year-old that this happened to, it felt like a day, bitch. Rita just keeps shaking her head. Iyanla tells Christian to take a walk, come back to his body, because Christian has sat there and zoned out. You can see it. He wasn't there no more. Because it's like, I have to take myself away from my body. Because dealing with the fact that my mom has no emotion whatsoever to my pain. Like, yo, if my child told me something like that happened to him, even as a grown man, I would want to hug him and touch him in some type of capacity to give him some type of love. But, child, I guess. Rita goes on and on about how she did do the right thing. When it first happened, she cried about it. When it first happened, she got him help. She called the police. She took him to the doctor and all of that. And I said, well, if that's the case, why didn't you know that he was raped? Because she sat there and said that now the story had changed. And she heard that the man made Christian touch him. But really, he was raped. And she feels like he didn't tell her that version of the story. And it's like, obviously, he didn't tell you because he didn't think that you could handle it or that you would give him the response he needed based off of the way you were already acting with him. That child seemed like he already knew my mama not gonna care. Okay? He already knew that there was an emotional deficit in y'all's relationship, which is why he didn't trust you with that information. And he still can't trust you with his emotions now because of the way you act and treated him. After she finished being the martyr, I'm just going to stay away. I'm just going to stay away. And, I'm just going to, live my life and all of that because I don't want to be a problem. And Iyanla tells her that she dismissed and diminished Christian, and they may not have been her intention, but it is what happened here today. Okay? And Ramisha needs to make sure that she doesn't become Rita. And that she don't want no alpha male. Girl, you the alpha woman in y'all relationship. You don't really want to be with a man that's going to be trying to run everything. Just like me, girl. I don't want to be with somebody that's trying to run shit all the time. But I would like for you to run shit 50% of the time so I can take a break. Okay? Let's just go ahead and say it. All right? I'll mastermind it. But bitch, I'm going to be sitting right here, laying right here, feet up. Bring me something to eat. And, I'll tell you what to do. Leave me alone. So, just the relationship when you that person. So, they all come together. And Rita asks as if everything is okay when Iyanla acknowledges the fact that this has been difficult for her. And they all just kind of go around and say how everybody feels about the situation and, what could have been better, what didn't happen, whatever. And Christian says that he wishes he had got a better reaction from his mother. And Iyanla says, but she did write the letter. So that shows that she cares in some capacity. Even though that letter was violent and picked apart every little thing about two people that she don't even really know like that. LaShonda and Nisha, you don't even know them people like that. They never really talked to them about the details of their life, but got so much judgment to write in that letter. But she wrote the letter, meaning that she was trying to make the effort. LaShonda says that she wants to be a more present grandparent. And she wants to make it work with Rita too. And she grabs Rita's hand. And I was like, oh, okay. But I just want everybody to, understand that it's not necessarily a racial issue. It is a class cultural issue. And I said that last review because I could tell. Because when people are racist, like really racist, there's like a difference. Like there's a difference between, holding my nose up at you and, hating you and can't understand why my son decided to be with a black woman. Like, I feel like that energy would have been different had that been what the situation was, but it's not. She's just ignorant of her emotions, ignorant of other people's cultures and how they feel. She has no self-awareness is what we're saying. And Rita looks like one of those beautiful women who didn't have to have any self-awareness. And now you've come to a place in your life where that self-awareness would be nice, but she still don't have it. Misha is going to listen more to Christian and, let him be him and not try to incite anger in him so he can be the crazy motherfucker she wish she had, but not really, okay? And she also needs to realize how being raised by an abusive, step parent can skew her want in a partner. Like, just always be checking yourself that this ain't what you really want, okay? Rita says that she's going to do the work, and Iyanla's like, what does that mean? And she was like, on the things that we uncovered. It's like, girl, okay, bye. Since you ain't really got nothing to say right now, we gonna move past you. Misha didn't know, because they talk about what they didn't know. Misha said she didn't know how much her mother-in-law didn't like her. And she also realized that she's her biggest critic. And it's unhealthy. And y'all, I'm the same way. That's why I said, girl, me and you, Misha, girl, me and you. A boy, my kid, ain't no boy, ain't no me, my kid. Look, girl, look, I'm just telling you, that is me. Biggest critic, constantly ripping into myself, and I had to stop. Like, I'm getting better at it, you guys, but that's one of my main issues. Y'all think this cute? I got this from Walmart. It's got all this lint that's coming off a bit, but it's buku soft. It's cute though, right? Like, Am I giving you something? Anyway, I'm sorry. Getting back to the story. Okay, so Christian needs to grow up. And I feel like that's a real assessment because we ain't about to act like, it's all your mama and your wife and your mother-in-law. Christian needs to step into his manhood, but he also needs to get help to get over the issues that he has. Because everything that happened to him has like kind of stomped out his confidence, stomped out the man that he really could be. And I really, really hope that he's able to get the help he needs and build that up. And I hope that she helps him. Y'all, there was a moment when Christian was talking about how he was feeling about not getting that reply from his mom that he wanted. And Ramisha started to rub his back. And I said, yes, bitch. Yes. Physical contact. Support, okay? Be there for him. Give him the love that mama did not give him, because you could tell that she raised him and told him what to do, but the emotional connection is not there. And I would hate for him to be with a wife that would treat him in that same way. So yes, Misha, yes. Rita said one thing that I thought was gold. She says, I didn't realize how much I was in my head and not in my heart. I said, oh, Lord, she done figured it out. Because that's the point, bitch. That's the point. Stop thinking. Start feeling. Okay? Figure that out. But you also know that the pathology that Rita passed down, okay? Rita has her own issues that have been passed down to her. She can ignore them all she wants to. But you got a pathology just like LaShonda, baby. You just got a different type, but similar, okay? You ain't got the black portion. So you had the easier life, thus thinking that you were better, but you ain't. Iyanla does tell Rita she's been a trooper and thanks her for her services. Okay, shout out to Shawnee. But yeah, y'all. They said that they've decided to let Rita go live in her house with her cats. Like, leave us alone for right now until you can get your own shit together. Because Iyanla told her, you need to get a psychiatrist ASAP. You need the psychiatrist. You need to get some type of mental health. When she told her, you the one that need a psychiatrist, y'all, like, yes, she does. You need a psychiatrist, Rita. Period. Okay? Get the help that you need so that you can stop being a faulty fucking grandparents and parents. And if you don't get the help, you will always be the same, and they will continue to keep you out of their lives. As they should. If you can't be positive, I don't care who you are. Don't come over here with no bullshit. Especially not to my house while I pay the bills. Boop. That's how I feel. But yeah, they said that Christian and Ramisha are doing well. And I'm happy for them. y'all was so cute. I was so here for y'all. I was so here for them because I feel like I did the same thing as far as picking somebody that's because you kind of become that person. The parent that you're trying not to choose is the parent you become when you choose differently. Like, I have to check my anger all the time because I am my father. Like, I am my father as far as like personality wise, and Lyric has more of a calmer spirit like my mom. Okay, but that's also because Lyric was raised by a woman that is similar to me. Okay, so I see it and I understand it, and it was definitely like a mirror. But y'all, I check myself all the time. Am I being an asshole? I'm sorry. Like, I'm one of them. Like, I'll tell them I'm sorry for being an asshole if I am being an asshole, because y'all, I can be one. Okay, you gotta admit who you are. You got to admit who you are, and you got to work to not be, the negative part of yourself all the time. And that's just what I try to do, girl, because I ain't got time to be mad. I be mad about everything, bitch. I have anger issues, and I get them together. You got to get your anger issues together, y'all. Y'all, it's warm up in here. I don't want to turn on the fan. But anyway, look, in my life, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for waiting for the reviews. Thank y'all so much for being patient with me, for becoming members, for becoming Patreons. I see a lot of y'all signing up on my Patreon account. I appreciate y'all so much. The Patreon will be down below, and next to the subscribe button is the join button. If you want to become a member here on YouTube, it is up to you. But Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I am definitely, hopefully, if my head is not banging again tonight, which I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it doesn't, that video I will hopefully get out tonight, and that will only be available for members and Patreons. For everybody else, you will not get that review until Tuesday evening. Okay, I'm trying to do like 10 to 12 hours. Okay, but it is the beginning of the month, so I have time. I could make y'all wait a whole 24 hours. It's absolutely up to my discretion. But I do like to wait, a little bit of time, a couple of hours, so that we can make sure that if it's going to get flagged, I can go ahead and get them to review it. But it will always be available for the members, whether it is flagged or not. Okay? All right, I love y'all. See y'all in the next one, which will be Real Housewives of Potomac.